Hello, and welcome to Growing Old. Today, I'm going to make one of America's favorite treats, Rice Krispy treats, but with a twist. It's going to be infused, and maybe doubly infused. So, let's get started.
Cultivate with purpose, heart and soul. Cannabis as medicine, that's our goal. In our greenhouse, sunshine streams and glows. Watching green leaves sprout in happy rows. Our babies growing bigger, strong and tall. Answering nature's ancient healing.
And we're back. So today, as I said, we're going to make Rice Krispy treats. It's a very simple treat to make, and we're going to make it infused. The recipe, if you ever want to know where it is on the side of a Rice Krispy box, and you can find it on the internet anywhere. I make a few tweaks to make it extra special. So let's get started. First, what are the ingredients? Well, you need 6 cups of Rice Krispies. So the box says 40 of these large marshmallows, and 40 is about 2/3 of a bag of these marshmallows. But I put the whole bag in and make it a little extra gooey. And the third ingredient is butter. And I used infused butter. And you can infuse your butter with whatever herb or flower or plant material you like. I'll just let you guess what I've infused mine with. But the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons. Now I use 6 tablespoons, which is 3 ounces or about 85 grams. And I double this because, well, it doubles the infusion power, doesn't it? So 6 tablespoons of the butter. Now some optional things that I like to add. I use a little bit of Pam for the pan because it gets very sticky. I've got some decorations here. I like to add a little bit of vanilla to mine just to give it a little extra richness and to kind of counteract some of the plant taste that comes through. And this is my little special for the double infusion, some infused sugar. And I have a link to a recipe, a link to a video where I make the infused sugar, and I'll have a link to the recipe where I make the infused butter. So let's get started. So over here I have a large pot, and I'm going to put this on a low temperature, and I'm going to start melting this infused butter over here on the pot. Okay, so I've warmed up the pot a little bit. I have it on a low to medium low setting. You don't want it too high because you don't want to burn this butter, especially this infused butter. So we just put that in there. And this again is 6 tablespoons, not the 3 tablespoons that it asked for, or 85 grams, 3 ounces. And you can see it's already starting to melt. And we just get that all melty and stir it around for a little bit. So the butter has melted, and now it's time to add the marshmallows. And as you see, I got a little bit extra in there. Just pour those in there. And now you want to make sure this is on a low heat and really melt these marshmallows gently. You just stir them up, make sure everything gets coated with that butter, and slowly but surely these marshmallows will melt. Okay, so that took about 10 minutes to get to just the right consistency. You can see all the marshmallows have melted and you've got this nice white creaminess. And this is where I like to add a little bit of vanilla. I think the vanilla adds a little bit of richness. It also helps cover the planty taste that sometimes comes with infused butter. So I just add about a teaspoon, or maybe a little bit more. And that bubbled right up because of the alcohol in the vanilla. Stir that right in. Now another thing is I think the infused butter has a little green tinge to it. So I add a little bit of green food coloring and just embrace that green, right? And now it's time to add 6 cups of Rice Krispy cereal. And on the box here, it says the 6 cups, so that's one thing we're keeping the same. Also, you want to take this off the heat. And we just stir that marshmallow into the Rice Krispie treats. And this is where it gets sticky and gooey and a little bit difficult to manage. But you get it mixed up as evenly as possible. So now it's ready to go into a pan. I use a 13 by 9 pan. And I'll put the European equivalent up on the screen. I'll just spray it real good with the Pam, or you could grease it with butter. I think if you can grease it with the infused butter, that would be even better. And then I'm going to take some gloves. Now you just want to just stick it all in the pan. It makes a little bit of a mess, but it's a mess you don't mind cleaning up. Get another piece of wax paper and just kind of mash it down into the pan. So now it's time to decorate it a little bit. Of course, you don't have to decorate. But what I got here is I got some infused sugar. So this kind of doubles the infusion power of the Rice Krispie treats. And I also got some of these green sparkles. I'm just going to shake these on. A little bit extra sugar, a little bit extra sparkle, a little bit of my infused sugar. That just gives it a little extra sweetness, of course, and a little bit of extra infused goodness. And okay, so now you have a pan of Rice Krispie treats, double infused. The butter's been infused, and there's some infused sugar on top, along with some green sparkles. We're gonna let this sit out on the counter. Don't put it in the fridge, because when you put these in the fridge, it gets a little too hard. So I'm gonna leave them out for about 30 minutes, and then I'll cut them up, and we'll come back, and maybe we'll try some. Well, I let them sit in the pan for 20 to 30 minutes, and then I cut them up. I probably cut them up a little early, and now I have a plate full of infused Rice Krispie treats.
And I've been waiting for these.
I want to thank all our viewers and subscribers very much for coming in and doing this. We couldn't do this without you. And please comment below if you make these Rice Krispie treats, or if you want to make them. If you make them a little differently than the way I do, please just let us know. And thank you, everyone.
He's growing bigger, strong and tall, answering nature's ancient healing call.